I want to start this review by saying yes, I beat the entirety of the game and I have about 10 to 15 hours of playtime with the game. I beat the game solo, including the new gameplay, no spoilers, and I beat the whole game again with 4-player co-op with my brothers. All gamers. That being said, I can honestly say I enjoyed the game and had fun playing it, but it wasn't perfect. Let's dive into this review. First, innovation. I love when game developers take a leap of faith to try something new without the certainty of it working in their eyes or not. Making a multiplayer 2.5 classic Sonic game was definitely a fresh and creative idea, and I respect that. Not only was the game idea itself was creative, the level designs were fun and creative. I really loved the gimmicks in certain stages. The Cyber Zone was my favorite and stood out so much. It was awesome. It felt like each stage welcomed something fresh with its cinematics, from playing Brick Breakers to becoming an 8-bit mouse to controlling a ship. This game kept things fresh and fun. And oh my god, the final zone, I ain't gonna spoil, but that gimmick was phenomenal. I was excited about it. Not only the stages, but the secret ring stages to get the Chaos Emeralds were very fun, and I enjoyed that in co-op. Everyone was able to participate to help get the emerald as well. Yeah, the secret rings were kinda too easy, but it helped keep up the momentum of the game without getting stuck too long on getting the emerald. Each emerald gave you a new power to refresh the gameplay for you, allowing you to change your gameplay style on each stage. Some powers were more useful than others, but it was a fun twist. Instead of only getting supersonic after getting all emeralds, you slowly got stronger as you collected more emeralds. The bosses were creative as well and weren't just pushovers you could kill in 5 seconds, which I appreciate. They still were easy with the blue emerald and the red emerald powers though. Each player brought different gameplay styles to the game, and I enjoyed the character specific stages for each character highlighting their unique abilities. Overall, I enjoyed the gameplay of the game and the creativity. Now the cons. Buggy. The game is definitely buggy. You are able to beat the game without ever seeing a bug, but play the game long enough like me and my brothers, and we can contest that the game have a few bugs. I'm talking bugs where the characters will fall through the floor and die after collision issues in the game. When I was streaming, Tails fell in the background after a rainbow boost mechanic failed to work for me twice and clipped him to death, starting the whole stage over. Well, checkpoint. While playing 4 players co-op with my brothers, we clipped through the floor after beating Eggman on the win stage and had to restart the whole level because our characters were infinitely falling into the abyss. Sometimes 2 soundtracks would be playing together at the same time in the background, which was annoying. Sometimes a character would clip through the stage after hitting an asset like a spring. Oh my god. The bugs on the water stage in co-op is criminal. You will be outside the water and your character will still have the countdown death happening and die. If you teleport to someone that's in the water with a countdown happening after you died, you will join in with the same error countdown as them. A lot of these bugs become very apparent when playing multiplayer co-op, which is sad since the premise of this game was to play co-op with family and friends. Even though I had fun with my brothers, I can honestly say I prefer playing this game solo any day of the week. Frame rates were dropping horribly in 4-player co-op sometimes when too much was going on in the game. And mind you, we were playing on a PS5, so I can only imagine the effects it was having on the Nintendo Switch and PS4. You would clip sometimes through the stage and not be able to come back to life until you did a mandatory 4-player activity in the game that yoinks everyone to one spot together, like a ring portal. Meaning, if you clipped out the stage in co-op, you was infinitely dead, not being able to come back. The camera was god awful. So many times I'll try to run ahead and lead the pack, or my brother would try to, and we would get brought back to my brother's GF that was lagging behind. The camera had no true focal point. It just randomly chose who it wanted to focus on. It didn't matter if you ran ahead, behind, top, low, bottom. It didn't matter. Even you have an emerald power on, it didn't matter. The focal point just randomly chose who it wanted to be on. Whoever the camera chose to focus on randomly, that's who you were getting yoinked to, and it was frustrating sometimes. First player automatically took rings from like balloons and stuff on the casino stage, which was horrible. So you couldn't get your rings in multiplayer. You don't share rings in co-op, which was bad because a lot of times it was hard to get rings for yourself to survive because whoever was leading the pack took most of the rings. I don't know why Sega didn't add more rings to the stages in co-op, but I digress. The ring stations and the rainbow transparent tubes and whatnot, random ring portal, there wasn't enough for rings, okay? It wasn't enough for co-op. The emerald powers became useless in co-op since only one person can use and utilize the power at a time. So during stages where they tell you to use a certain emerald power, you couldn't use it because either one or two things happen. You try to use the power and drag the group with you just for the camera to not be on you and yoink you back to your friend, losing the emerald power in the process, or you have to sit and watch your friend lead the pack because only one person can use the power at a time instead of everyone at once for some dumb reason. A smart thing Sega could have did with this game is instead of having the emerald powers to use whenever, made it that each zone had a different power to use so that everyone could have used it together and enjoyed the game together. Everyone using the water power up on the water stage would have been awesome, swimming through the water together. Everybody using the goddamn fire power up to just infinitely dash through the air and stuff on the stage would have been amazing. Seems like a missed opportunity. Everyone, it's just bad. But sadly, emerald powers work best in solo play. The game just felt very flawed with its co-op mode. I actually believe Sonic the Hedgehog 4 did a better job making the stages more co-op friendly, regardless of if you like the game or not. The team attack and the team sections made the game feel more co-op, and you took turns on leading the pack. But that's probably because it only was focused on 2 players instead of 4 players. Maybe if they did online co-op and allowed everyone to walk their own pace with their own camera, then maybe it would have been better. Or maybe design stages more catered to co-op gameplay like New Super Mario Brothers Wonder, so it's more organized for everyone to run together and work together. I don't know. It definitely needs some work. It truly feels like this game was made with the intention of solo player and then just threw multiplayer in the mix afterwards without ever optimizing the stages to complement multiplayer gameplay. Not once did I feel like I was working as a team with my brothers like we usually do in games like Mario 3D World or Donkey Kong Country, Tropical Freeze and whatnot. It also annoying that if you die during a boss, which is likely because of lack of rings sometimes, you can't respawn back in to play with your friends. You just have to sit there and watch to see if your friend defeat the boss or if they die and y'all have to redo it all over again. I don't know why they didn't just go with a life system like Mario. You run out of lives and then you're out for good. All in all, kind of disappointed in the co-op mode for this game. Could have been a lot better and pushed team play more. Special stages were the only thing that felt like co-op. I know some people like the battle mode in the game, but me personally, I care less about it. I'm neutral towards it. I was disappointed to see that the medals we collected in the stages were only for buying cosmetics for battle mode. I would have loved to be able to buy different skins for Sonic them and play through levels with them. But that's just something small. That sounds like a missed opportunity from Sega, in my opinion. The new game plus in this game, aka Encore mode, that's basically what it is. Basically, it's a harder version of the regular story mode. But they force you in this game to mandatorily beat it in order for you to get the true final boss ending. So, without me trying to spoil you, you have to play Encore mode, and this is probably the worst Encore mode I ever played in my life in a Sonic game, okay? I didn't have fun playing Encore mode. I truly did. Not because it's hard. Anyone that knows me on this channel, I love try hard activities. I get off on that ish. But this didn't feel like it was hard because of platforming and running and boss and whatnot. This felt hard as in they did the most cheapest things known to man. Some parts in the levels, they'll throw you on a spring or a boost that leads you straight into a spike. Some stages, there were just hordes of enemies for no reason. Trying not to spoil, but they made a certain enemy follow you throughout the stage sometimes, and they would shoot too fast with no type of opening. And sometimes you couldn't hit them at all, and they'll shoot you, and you can do nothing about it. It was just more frustrating than actually being hard. It just did a lot of cheap things towards you. Even with the bosses, certain bosses took too many hits for no reason, and some bosses had cheap mechanics that if you mess up even the slightest, you gotta redo the whole phase, and it was annoying. It was less hard and more annoying, if anything. But I beat it. But still, I didn't have fun doing it. It was more frustrating than actually having fun and doing something that was try hard. I didn't feel relieved after I beat it. You know that success feeling you feel after you beat something hard? I didn't have that feeling. I had more of the feeling of finally, let me get this game over with. I'm tired of playing this game. It was more of that type of feeling, which is bad. Lastly, story and music. The story for me was pretty meh. I didn't care about the new character, and the story wasn't even explained or engaging while playing much. Sonic Mania did better with the story, with the animated cutscenes and stuff showing what's going on in the story. Even Sonic Origins did good with animated cutscenes transitioning to each game. This game, on the other hand, you kind of just breeze through the stages with no real explanation of what's going on. You just narrow-sighted the whole time. Like, you get the gist that Eggman is up to no good with Fang's help, but that's about it. You don't know what they scheming up or anything. You just fighting them. You literally have to read a comic strip on Sonic Superstars website to find out what Eggman and Fang is up to. The game doesn't ever really tell you. There's one part in the story, without me spoiling, where Knuckles opens up a door, sees a picture on the wall, and us, the players, get no explanation or no close-up of the picture for us to try to even decipher what the picture is trying to tell us. No cutscene trying to explain. You just trying to explain it. You just gotta keep playing and try to put two and two together, which is crazy because Sonic 3 did a good job with the murals when you made it to the cave and with the Master Emerald. But I digress. Once you beat the game, you kind of sort of can guess what the picture was trying to say that Knuckles found. Also, some animated scenes you don't see unless you're playing the story with that specific character, which sucks in this game considering the fact there's no different story for each character like it was in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I was playing co-op with my brothers and every character was being played, but we only seen Knuckles cutscene because first player playing with Knuckles. I believe everybody's scene should have been shown since the game gives off the feeling of everyone was doing their own thing at certain times of the story. Hence the character specific stages. So I don't know why they didn't just show us all their cutscenes in the collage so we know what everybody was doing. The music in the game was decent, nothing crazy and hype like Sonic Mania or Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but it wasn't bad. There was a few songs I liked in the game. Some people complained about the sound direction in the game when it comes to sound effects. I don't look that deep into it unless the sound effects were trash. It was acceptable, so I have no opinion on it. Overall, if I have to give this game a rating, I'll give it like a 6. 5.5, 6 out of 10. It was fun to play, but definitely let me down with the co-op mode and bugs in the game. The game's selling point was for multiplayer, and it didn't sell well with the multiplayer. The multiplayer was pretty bad. I would highly recommend Super Mario Wonder multiplayer over Sonic Superstars in a heartbeat. Sonic Mania was definitely better in my opinion when it compares to this game, and Sonic Mania is cheaper. I don't think this game is worth $60, far from it, considering the play value and longevity of this game. I don't see myself going back and replaying this game over. I replayed Sonic Mania multiple times and Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and this game just missed the mark for me. If the game was as long as Super Mario 3D World and Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, then I would understand the price, but it's not. I would say wait till the game drops in price if you're not thirsty for the game right away. This game, in my opinion, is worth a clean like $35, maybe $40. I ain't pushing any further, but a clean $35. Hope you guys enjoyed my honest review, and comment below your thoughts on this game down below. Was it everything you thought it would be? Were you disappointed as well? Would you wish that they made a different Sonic game? Now we gotta wait for a new Sonic game. Let me know your comments and opinions down below. And until next time, stay up.